from the Providence Community Library is about library funding.
Really?
So please, so please look at the graph, which none of you can see, but the audience can see. Please look at the graph on the, well, on your left.
I saw it coming in. Yeah.
While volunteer, state aid, and private donations are all indispensable to paying for Providence Community Libraries, they are no substitute for city dollars, which fund the lion's share of our budget. As you can see from the numbers, Providence comes in at the bottom of library funding for major New England cities. We've asked this question before, but have not received clear answers from the candidates. Will you commit to more city funding for our neighborhood libraries? If so, how will you do it?
Is that the question?
Yes.
90 seconds.
You-
Okay. All right.
Challenge.
The challenge. Thanks very much for the question. You know, there are 9 Providence community libraries in Providence, and they employ about 70 people. As we all know, the arrangement that was made in 2012 was to fund the libraries to the extent of about $3.8 million, about almost $300,000 comes out of that to pay for the $5 million so that you could have bought the libraries to establish the network. I think that this is such an oasis for learning. And in the opening, it was said that this is a place where people can come, get a job, use a computer. It's after-school programs could be are handled right out of here. It's such a wonderful place, and all the libraries need to be supported. You loan books, you partner with Providence schools to increase literacy. You build all that. And this is a very, very important resource, as I look at it, for the citizens of the city of Providence, its children, and not only its children, but also older people, us folks, you know, who come in and use a computer or read a book. The child can get a book, and that child can take a trip around the world by just getting that book. I can tell you that I will continue to work as much as I can to increase literacy goals and also to do what I can. I know that the Smith Hill branch, I think, was receiving $50,000 this year for community development funds in order to fix its air conditioning system. I would commit to be the chief fundraiser for the Providence Public Library System. In this particular library, all 7 or all 9. I can tell you that a mayor's office can do an awful lot by increasing your endowment. And that's what I think has to be done here. And also trying to increase the funding. And how would you do it? Well, we have a $24 million deficit. $1 on the tax break brings in $7.5 million under the present system. So you're going to have to streamline, cut, and divert the resources to where they should go. And one of the places I would suggest is the Providence Public Library.
Mr. Harrop, same question, 90 seconds, solving the library.
Just 90?
Yeah.
Okay. The way I heard the question was, where is the money going to come from? Because I don't think any of us up here are going to say we have to close the libraries. I think we all agree they're the hearts of the neighborhood, that they're safe havens, that they provide important after-school programs and educational opportunities. We all support the libraries. Where will the money come from? I believe that we have to stop paying unjust bills that we have been forced to pay in this city through the incompetence of prior mayoral administrations that gave away 6% cost of living increases and contracts that are simply unsustainable. We can do that through the receivership process, the bankruptcy process. It will allow us to not pay those bills, to instead go back to where we can set appropriate priorities. One of the priorities being the libraries, and not $200,000 pensions for former fire chiefs. Okay? So that's what we need. The only way to do it is to go through that process at this particular time. And people hate hearing you have to go through that process. But the thing is all the business people know what's going on. Wall Street knows, Boston knows, everybody knows. There's no embarrassment here. The embarrassment is that we don't move ahead by restoring our finances and instead continue to cut. And the library money, I guarantee you, will be on the line when they're looking at the $24 million gap.
Thank you. Mr. Elorza, the same question, 90 seconds to save the library.
Yes.
Okay. You know, the first thing that we have to do is recognize the fundamental importance that libraries play in our communities and in our neighborhoods. It's been said that libraries are the great equalizers in society. Right? No matter how rich or poor, black or white, tall, short, whatever you are, you can come to a library and you have access to lifelong learning just as anyone else. And especially now with public safety being such a major concern, we need to provide more opportunities for young people and for kids to go after school, and not just to stay off the streets, but also to get help with their homework, apply for a job, or whatever it might be. So we have to recognize the fundamental importance that libraries play. The second thing is, I know that it's been very difficult for the community libraries, in that there hasn't been consistent funding mechanisms for a long period of time. And I fully understand the need for there to be consistency and predictability in where the funding is coming from. Now, I'm encouraged by the fact that there's an additional $200,000 in fiscal year 2015's budget for the Providence community libraries, and we have to ensure that we allocate the sufficient funds in our budgets going forward. The last piece in terms of supporting the libraries is, we have to recognize that it's not just about funding, although, we have to make sure we get out there and bring these funding. But we have a bully pulpit from the mayor's office, and we can engage the entire community to come in and support our libraries. We've done it in Central Falls, and I'll be happy to, and I look forward to doing it here as well.
We've got to move on. We're moving on.